On September 1, 2008, the body of Oksana Aplekaeva, who used to be on the TV show Big Brother, was found next to a highway in Russia. As police looked into it, they found out Oksana was involved with some very powerful and dangerous people. But what really shocked everyone was that later on, officers discovered something unbelievable and gross that the doctor who checked Oksana's body after she died did. This crime is definitely one of the most talked about and outrageous in all of Russia, and you're about to hear everything about it. Oksana Aplekaeva was born on June 12, 1977, in Ufa, Bashkiria, a part of Russia. Her dad was a strict police officer, and she grew up in a regular, middle-class family with her two sisters, Christina and Alicia. From a young age, Oksana seemed like she would live a normal life. She finished school for accounting and economics but never worked in that field. Instead, she got a job selling fancy makeup at the Arbit Prestige stores. She knew a lot about makeup and was very interested in it, which made her stand out at work, but she wanted more. In 2003, when she was 26, Oksana left Ufa and moved to Moscow, just like thousands of other young Russians hoping to become famous and successful. Moscow in the early 2000s was full of chances and also dangers. Oksana didn't want a regular life, she wanted to be known, to be a star. In 2005, she got her big chance when she was picked to join Dom 2, which was one of Russia's most popular reality shows back then. Dom 2 was pretty much Russia's version of Big Brother. It started in 2004 and quickly became a huge hit. The idea was simple: young, single people trying to find love while being filmed 24/7, all competing to win a house near Moscow. But it was more than just a dating show. It was a place for scandals, secrets, and instant fame, a recipe that brought in huge audiences. Oksana joined the show on March 18, 2005, when she was 28. She quickly stood out because she was beautiful and had a unique personality. Stas Karimov, another Dom 2 contestant, said Oksana was kind and honest but also a bit naive. He mentioned she was smart about some things but slow to understand others, and she couldn't always tell if someone was joking or serious. Elena Vodanaeva, another person on the show, said Oksana was often picked on, especially by the men. According to Elena, Oksana let them make fun of her, which suggested Oksana might have liked the attention, but it also showed how easily she could be hurt. Oksana only stayed on Dom 2 for 75 days, leaving on June 2, 2005. There are two different stories about why she left. The first, from Olga Bazova, a close friend on the show, says the show's producers kicked her out for being too boring. Oksana didn't cause fights, didn't smoke or drink, and didn't spread gossip, which was basically a death sentence for someone on a reality show. The second story is that Oksana left on her own after she got an offer to start a modeling career. Whatever the truth, her time on Dom 2 gave her what she wanted most: fame. After leaving the show, Oksana used her new fame to get into show business. She worked as a model for Expo Style Agency and helped manage projects at Animal Style magazine. She entered the 2008 Miss Maxim contest, making it into the top 100 most beautiful women in Russia. She also tried acting, getting small parts in the TV series Detectives and Matchmaker, and appeared on Comedy Club and The Blah Blah Show. Oksana was also seen with celebrities like Prokhor Shaliapin, Vadim Galagin, Alex Vorobyov, and Sergei Lazarev, posing for photos that helped her look like a rising socialite. A constant rumor was that she was dating famous Russian tennis star Marat Safin. Some people said Oksana herself started this story, selling it to popular magazines, but her close friends denied it. They said Marat lived abroad, and they only met briefly at the funeral of a mutual friend, singer Leonid Nerashenko from the band Dynamite. Still, Marat Safin's name kept Oksana in the news for a while. Despite all the glamour, Oksana had a vulnerable side. Friends described her as naive, almost like a child. At 31, she thought like a 16-year-old, according to one close friend. Oksana believed in fairy tales about show business, read books on how to attract rich men, and dreamed of a fancy life. That innocence made her an easy target in a world full of people looking to take advantage. On August 29, 2008, 31-year-old Oksana was working as a model at the Moscow International Auto Show at Crocus Expo, one of the city's biggest exhibition centers. The event, which started on August 26, was perfect for the life Oksana wanted: expensive cars, wealthy visitors, and a chance to be noticed by important people. The first few days went well. Oksana was promoting cars, talking to visitors, and enjoying the attention. But that day, she met a few men who caught her eye. One was Alexei, the CEO of a company, and the other was his deputy, Mikhail, 38, who had a criminal record for robbery. During the day, Oksana even had coffee with one of them at Crocus Expo but went back to work soon after. On the night of August 29th, after work finished, Oksana called a friend she shared an apartment with in Moscow. She said she was going to an event and would be back late. People at Crocus Expo saw Oksana leave with a man on a motorcycle. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. 2 days later, on September 1, 2008, truck drivers found Oksana's body by the Moscow-Ria highway in the Istra district, about 50 kilometers from Moscow, between the villages of Kotivo and Davidkovskoy. The spot was lonely, near the same highway that, years before, had taken Oksana to fame when Dom 2 was filmed there. The scene was shocking. Oksana was dead with clear signs she had been strangled. Doctors confirmed she died from mechanical asphyxiation, meaning someone had strangled her. Her body showed bruises on her face, thighs, and private areas, plus scratches, suggesting she was violently attacked before she died. Strangely, there were no signs of a struggle where her body was found, making detectives think she was killed somewhere else and then dumped there. Her body was partly covered with stones and branches, which looked like someone tried to hide the crime. Her jewelry, phone, and personal items were gone. Since Oksana didn't have any ID on her, her body wasn't identified for a week. Only on September 8, 2008, did the police confirm that the victim was indeed Oksana Aplekaeva, the former Dom 2 star. The news shocked the country and caused a huge fuss. But what happened between the moment she left Crocus Expo and her death, and who was the man on the motorcycle? Oksana Aplekaeva's murder quickly became one of the most talked about cases in Russia. The police in the Istra City Investigation Department started a criminal case for murder. From the very beginning, the investigation faced big problems. In the first few days before Oksana's body was found and identified, the main goal was to figure out her last moments. Her roommate, Olga, reported her missing to the police days after Oksana didn't come home. Oksana's sister, Olesya, traveled from Ufa to Moscow to help search. After talking to Crocus Expo staff and following clues, Olesya told the news that police thought Oksana might be held by powerful people, but that idea was soon dropped. The first guess was that a serial killer was involved. Rumors spread on internet forums, and anonymous tips claimed other models at the auto show had disappeared. Some sources said as many as 8 girls were gone. Fear spread among Crocus Expo workers, fueled by whispers that bodies were appearing on nearby highways. Even the Dom 2 cast got scared, thinking a crazy killer was out there. But the police investigated and found these rumors were false. There were no records of other missing girls, and the story looked like made-up hype for attention. Another early idea came from messages on Oksana's social media page, Odnoklassniki. An unknown user accused her of giving him an STD, called her a prostitute, and threatened revenge. After Oksana's body was found, that user's profile was deleted, and their identity was never found. Investigators ignored this clue, thinking it was just someone hateful trying to take advantage of the situation. The focus then moved to the people Oksana met the day she vanished. The first suspect was Mikhail, 38, from Nakabino, who had a robbery record, as mentioned before. Mikhail owned a motorcycle and was one of the last people to talk with Oksana. He admitted meeting her on August 29, which happened to be his birthday. He said they had dinner at a restaurant in Crocus City, but he left her there with money for a taxi because he had to go to a family party. His story was confirmed by people at the party, so he was cleared. Another suspect was Alexei, the CEO of Mikhail's company. Alexei also met Oksana at the expo, but he proved he was out of Moscow on the day of the crime, which removed him from suspicion. Detectives then checked Oksana's last phone calls. After leaving Mikhail, she made several calls, the last one to a friend, saying she was going to an event. A big breakthrough came when police searched Oksana's apartment. They found notebooks, diaries, and locked hard drives. Her notes showed a dark side. She seemed to be involved in the high-class escort business. One note read, Rublevka oligarch, birthday 18 girls. Rublevka is a fancy Moscow suburb famous for the huge homes of rich people and celebrities. Other notes listed girls' names, party dates, and embarrassing details about rich, famous clients. Detectives also found video cameras and equipment, suggesting Oksana's apartment was used as a studio for filming adult content. The locked drives might have had money details and contacts for a criminal group but were never opened. The main idea became that Oksana was killed by someone she was trying to blackmail. She knew too much about the crimes and secrets of powerful people, and that likely led to her death. Possible suspects included rich business owners, showbiz stars, and organized crime figures. Oksana's open nature and tendency to talk too much might have exposed these secrets to the wrong person, or maybe she tried to demand money for her silence. Either way, the investigation got stuck. Witnesses refused to talk, afraid of what might happen to them. 3 months after the murder, in November 2008, the case was put aside because there wasn't enough strong evidence. Oksana was buried on September 11, 2008, in Ufa, her hometown. The funeral was private, attended by about 40 people, including family and close friends. None of her reality show castmates showed up, and many of her so-called friends stayed quiet about the case. Her parents placed a memorial and a large photo of Oksana on the grave, but even after death, she couldn't find peace. 1 month after the funeral, vandals attacked the grave. They burned a wreath and broke the memorial. This happened at night, and no one saw who did it. Some thought it was local fans looking for attention. Others said it was a hate crime connected to her past on the reality show. But that wasn't the last disrespect to Oksana's memory. Something far worse would become known. For 10 years, the case remained cold and unsolved. In February 2018, new DNA technology found something gruesome. Oksana's body was dug up for more tests, and the results showed that someone had intimate relations with her after she died. The unlikely suspect was Alexander Aplekaeva, a 37-year-old forensic doctor who performed her autopsy in 2008. Alexander admitted what he did but faced very little punishment. In Russia, hurting a dead body carries a maximum sentence of only 3 months, and the time limit for charging him had already passed. Alexander only lost his job, and he said his wife left him after the scandal. Alexander Aplekaeva was born in 1970 in Temnikovo, Mordovia, and his co-workers said he was a good professional. He liked hunting, fishing, and playing video games, according to his social media posts, which were deleted after the case. But he had already been in trouble with the law. In 2013, he was accused of taking bribes, though that case never went anywhere. His confession was chilling. "You can't fight against science," he told investigators after his DNA matched what was found on Oksana's body. Despite the horror of his crime, detectives confirmed Alexander had no connection to the murder. He only desecrated the body after she was already dead. This new part of Oksana's tragic story shocked Russia again. People were incredibly angry. Even with the 2018 discovery, Oksana Aplekaeva's killer was never found. The Istra department reopened the case, but no new evidence appeared. During the investigation, many ideas came up. Here are the 4 main ones. Theory 1. This is the most widely believed idea. It suggests Oksana was killed by someone she tried to get money from in exchange for keeping secrets. Her notes and videos point to her having embarrassing information about rich people, celebrities, and criminals. Some sources say she might have seen something scandalous at a private party, something that could ruin a powerful person's reputation. As someone outgoing and not discreet, Oksana might have talked too much or demanded money to stay quiet. In a world where secrets are worth more than lives, that's enough reason to kill someone. Theory 2. Another possibility is that Oksana was killed by a former lover. Investigators thought about this, especially because of threats she got on social media. But the strongest clues came from her romantic connections. Oksana knew many people, and some friends believed she might have been murdered by a jealous or rejected man. However, all suspects questioned had strong alibis, meaning they could prove where they were at the time of the crime. Theory 3. Some sources suggest Oksana got mixed up with the Russian mafia. Her contacts included people from the underworld, and the escort business might have put her on the radar of dangerous individuals. Maybe she saw something she shouldn't have, like a murder or a corruption deal, and was silenced to protect bigger interests. Theory 4. Some conspiracy theories claim Oksana's death was part of a ritual, or a dark game among the very rich and powerful. While there's no real evidence, the idea of a sacrifice to protect dark secrets became popular in online forums. It's a controversial theory, but given the background of power and corruption, it can't be completely ruled out. Oksana's case also caught the public's eye in popular culture. In 2008, the TV show Let Them Talk dedicated an episode to her called On the Side of Life. That same year, Oksana's sisters, desperate for answers, went to the show Battle of the Psychics. The psychics offered different ideas. Some said she was killed over debts. Others claimed it was an accident. In 2009, TNT made the documentary Who Killed Oksana, but none of these efforts brought solid answers. Oksana Aplekaeva's murder became a sad symbol of the dark side of Russian show business and a reminder of how dangerous fame can be. In a world of influence and wealth, money can sometimes cost you your life. Oksana left Ufa dreaming of becoming a star but got caught in a tangled web of secrets, corruption, and violence. Almost 17 years later, her family is still waiting for answers, and her killer is still free.